a vegetable that I really wanted her to try, and I figured that she had probably never tried it. And it was a vegetable that I grew up with because my father was a big fan of it. It's called Jerusalem artichokes, and they really don't look like artichokes at all. In fact, I've got a few here for you. I don't know if you've ever seen these in the store. I think they're called tabinour in French, but Jerusalem artichokes, they're a little root. They're kind of like a texture of a potato, between a potato and maybe a beet. But what they're really good for is that it works directly with your pancreas. And that means that if it's supporting your pancreas, it's going to help your body process sugar and not have a sugar spike or a blood sugar spike, which is really what's dangerous for people who have a concern about their blood sugar creeping up a little bit too high when they have you know, sort of sitting on the edge of perhaps getting diabetes. So let me show you again. This is called a Jerusalem artichoke. They're not very expensive. You might have mixed them up with the Chinese root, which is the ginger root. See, they look kind of alike, don't they? And it kind of have, but this has sort of this is a ginger root, and these ones are the Jerusalem artichoke. So what's a lot of fun about these Jerusalem artichokes is actually they grow really easily. You'll just have to ask around at your store if you haven't seen them, or maybe they're tucked into a corner. But what my father used to do is he used to make sure that we ate them once a week, without failure. They had to be in our diet because he felt that it was really important to keep our bodies healthy. And it is a vegetable that not a lot of people know about, or they don't know that it's going to positively affect their blood sugar. So I'm going to introduce it to you. When my girlfriend came over last night, I decided I wanted her to taste it really as it was. So I didn't do any spicing at first. I said, why don't you just try it? And then you're going to know what it tastes like, because if you're going to cook with it later, then you're going to know what to do. So I just took my little pot, I put a couple of them in there, I boiled them for 10-15 minutes until I pierced it with a fork just to see if it was cooked through. And then this is kind of a funny skin, so I took them out, let them cool off a teeny weeny bit. This is what the skin looks like. It's really not very pretty, but it just, I cut them in half and I peeled it off. But what's really fun is that the Jerusalem artichoke really will help and support your body if you are finding that your blood sugar creeps up. So tonight what I was doing, I was just making a salad, and I thought I would share it with you and to talk to you a little bit also how you can make healthier choices about keeping your blood sugar lower, or at least that the uptake into your blood is going to be kind of more even, because what you want is your blood sugar to be really kind of even. You don't want big spikes, and you don't want it to drop, because what happens is, let's say that I decide, I'm going to run to the store, I'm going to get a chocolate, I'm going to have that chocolate because I have a craving, and then my blood sugar is going to go straight up. Body has a heart attack and says, oh no, too much sugar in the blood, and it goes and asks your body to push it back down, and that's how you get the crash. So your sugar's going up, then it's going to crash, and then you're going to be hungry again. You're not going to feel very well. So that's why it's really important to keep your blood sugar even. But a lot of people don't know how to do that. So for instance, I've got apples here. An apple actually is what we consider to be a high GI, or glycemic index. And it's important to become familiar with what's going on in your body and what is a high GI, like normally breads, rices, pastas, and some fruits, because they're very sugary, have a high GI. So that's something you're going to want to stay away from. But if you have a craving to have something that is on the higher GI, there is a trick. If you can incorporate at the same time, let's say that you're having a piece of apple like this, you could just have a little piece of cheese, you could have some egg, you can have something that is a protein. You could have just a few almonds, or you could have, like on this salad that I've put some tomatoes together with the bocconcini, because I want to have the apple and I want to make sure that my blood sugar doesn't spike. So that's one of the little tips that you can have when you're thinking about, I'm not really sure and I don't want my blood sugar to jump up. I want the uptake to be kind of nice and even. All you have to do is make sure that you're eating or consuming a little bit of protein at the same time. So I would love to encourage you to get to know the Jerusalem artichoke. This is it after I've peeled it, boiled it, peeled it, and cut it up. And it doesn't have any spicing on it. Actually, my girlfriend, when she came over last night when we were eating it, she said, you know what? I love it. It tastes great just the way it is. So normally I put a little salt and pepper on it. Maybe I'm going to use a Himalayan salt. If I use table salt, I'm going to be able to get a little bit of iodine. Also, people who have difficulty with their thyroid, depending on if it's high or low, so you do have to check, but a thyroid really doesn't work very well if you don't have any iodine in your body, and it doesn't work very well if you don't have vitamin E. So that's my one of my tips and tricks for today, and I wanted to introduce you to the wonderful Jerusalem artichoke. I'd love to encourage you to bring it into your weekly shopping and have it in your family's meals. Try it out. You can experiment with a little bit of spicing, but try it just plain. My girlfriend loved it. I was really surprised that she just loved it the way it was. She didn't want to put any spices on it. She felt that, I had also served a little bit of trout last night, and she felt that the trout was nice and well spiced, and she enjoyed having something that had a great flavor but was very plain beside it. And that's a really great way of also combining your meals. So that's my tip and trick for you today to help approach blood sugar that might be creeping up. It's very healthy, or you just want to make sure that you never have issues. So I'd love to welcome you to try it out. I'm going to be posting some recipes online so that you can maybe try them. And I'm going to love you and leave you on this beautiful Sunday evening. And I hope that you're enjoying your family time by yourself, with your friends, or just out and about on this beautiful evening. Bye for now.